I'm Danny. I play guitar.
I'm Jorge. I play guitar as well.
I'm Ben, and I play bass. I'm Matt, and I play drums.
Prove it.
I'm Jimmy. I'm the vocalist. We're Headcount.
We're Headcount.
So prior to Headcount, Danny was doing a band called Drug Control, and when Drug Control ended, him and I talked about the idea of doing a band, and at the same time, Ben and I were talking about doing a band, so we put it all together, added these guys, and that's it. Unless you have something to add.
Yeah, Jorge, what's the story?
Yeah, Jorge.
So I'm the newest one out of the band, and basically I'd been bothering Danny for X amount of weeks about joining, and then finally I broke him, and then he was like, all right, well, fuck it, join. And then I showed up to practice once, and then the rest is history.
There's a lot of really good bands, like just starting out, or that have been around that are really kind of playing a lot of shows or putting their name out there. Yeah, just a lot of new faces coming out to shows, which is cool. Last show we played at the Che, there was a couple people that I've never met before came up and was like, oh, I really liked your guys' set, and it was kind of cool to see people from San Diego that I've never seen before into our band, so it's cool. I feel like San Diego kind of goes in waves when it comes to music, and I feel like it's in a really good point.
I think San Diego sometimes gets a reputation as a place that's not worth stopping on a tour route, and I think right now it's in a really good place, like Jimmy was saying, and I think more bands should come through and they'll have a good experience. There's a lot of really cool all ages spaces right now, and a really cool diversity of bands, which I think San Diego has always had, but there's a lot of newer bands, which is exciting.
Well, we have that demo, and it's coming out on the 7-inch, so that's in process. And then Matt's got like a whole album worth of songs written, which is they're pretty sick. I would love to do some small touring if possible. A dream would be to go back to Europe or to Asia, but that's maybe a pipe dream. Who knows? We haven't really talked about it at all.
I feel like hardcore punk music is this like kind of vibe that you got to be kind of manly, or you can't show your emotions, or it's like, I don't know, it'd be cool to. I really want to write songs in the future about stuff that's outside of that, or outside of like, I just feel like hardcore and punk needs more of that.
Yeah, Minor Threat. Well, when I was getting into punk and hardcore, I kind of just absorbed everything that I could, and I didn't really know how to make a distinction between what was what. Like, it was just all punk to me, and I was discovering everything after it had happened. So I was thinking about this earlier, and the three bands that really stuck with me when I was getting into it was Minor Threat, Anti-Schism, and DRI, which I don't think we sound like any of those bands, but that was just for me personally.
I think that just one of the things that's cool about hardcore is that you have a community of a variety of different people. There's no one person that comes from the same like musical taste as you do. So we're all into different music, but I think as far as for the Headcount sound, I think we really try to like hone in on just straightforward, straight edge, like hardcore from like that whole revival era of straight edge, so like maybe like early 2000s, and then even later on in like post 2010. So I think that I speak for everyone where we are influenced by a band called Carry On from I think the early 2000s. And then a more recent one, well, not as recent, but Mindset is also a huge influence on all of us.
I guess just developing my own worldview and my own set of politics.
I feel that music kind of just, pulled me out of like, I don't know, like not necessarily like a dark time, but I felt that I found out who I really was. And one of the things that I learned early on as I was like learning how to play guitar, you idolize these famous guitarists that are like, shred legends. And then here comes punk rock and hardcore, and you're like, oh shit, these guys like write songs that are just based around 4 chords. And, they're in a room similar to this, and you have like kids screaming back at you and like, having a lot of fun. And I think that's just the main thing that I took away from music, was that like you don't have to be skilled, you don't have to be a fucking rock star to, get attention.
It shapes basically how I think and how I view the world, but at the same time, music as a whole, like if I'm having like a bad week or like a bad month, or or my day's just not going great, like I always have music that lets me express myself, or like lets me like I'll listen to a song and I'll immediately be like, yes, like it's so positive. Not all of it's positive, but there's something there that I can relate to, and it kind of just helps me see the world and be like, okay, things aren't so bad.
It's given me the opportunity to travel and see other places and embrace and understand other cultures, which is huge for who I am now. Being a teacher, I feel like that's really helped me out. And in other ways, like it's given me an ability to really just kind of understand people. Like these musicians that people idolize are people. They're people who started in spaces like this and now like have moved on to get to play like huge venues in some cases. Or sometimes it's seeing your favorite band when they're 3 feet away from you. And I feel like within punk and hardcore, like that's one of the few genres where that's possible. So if it wasn't for this genre or this space, like I truly don't know who I would be as a person.
I don't know how to say anything not super generic, but not to say that any of that was, but I feel like I owe every aspect of who I am to hardcore. I don't think I would have the set of values and politics that I have without it. I wouldn't be vegan without it. I probably wouldn't be straight edge. I hate everything about normal society, and I don't think I would have had the right analysis to understand, I don't know, why I hated it or what kind of alternatives there could be to it without hardcore. I wouldn't have the friends I have now. Yeah.
Thank you guys very much.
Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm sorry for making you guys sit all smushed up.